Hi, everyone. My name is Carol Ruth Silverstein. I am the author of Cursed. And I thought I'd tell you a little bit about the book and about myself and why I decided to write it. So, the story Cursed is about a 14-year-old girl named Ricky, and she is newly diagnosed with a painful chronic illness and seriously pissed off about it. And before the story started, Ricky's life wasn't awesome to begin with. Her parents had had a really messy divorce, and her big sister Danny, who she really loves and is close to, just started college and is less available. So Ricky was feeling a little alone and pissed off anyway, and then her diagnosis came. And it was really the last straw. She's just like, screw you, universe. So I wrote the story at the suggestion of a mentor. I was being mentored as a screenwriter by a woman named Holly Goldberg Sloan, who back in the 90s was a really successful writer and director of family films, and since then has become an incredibly successful author of middle grade and YA novels, and she's amazing. I really recommend her books. But we met when she was going to mentor me as a screenwriter and got to know each other, and she thought that story of my getting sick at 13 was really, really interesting, and she encouraged me to write about it. I wasn't dead set on doing that. I like to follow mentors' suggestions, but my issue was I wasn't sure how to tell the story in a way that was authentic to my experience, because what I had seen and read involving, stories with sick kids is that they were sort of, sentimental and motivational, and these kids with all this grace and inspiring others around them that it was all going to be okay. And some of those stories are great, but it wasn't how it happened for me. I was really angry, really self-absorbed, sort of a typical teenager or bad teenager in every way other than I had this horrible chronic illness that was so painful. And I was angry and lashed out and didn't ask for help, didn't have the support. And I had never seen that story. So I thought, if I'm going to write a book, I need to find a way to tell it that is authentic to what I went through, because I figured there were probably other, kids out there whose experiences were more similar to mine than some of the inspirational stuff that we see. So years later, put it on a back burner and worked on a lot of other things. Years later, I was in a writing workshop, and there was just a little writing exercise, and the prompt was pick an age and write as yourself at that age. So I picked 13, and just out came the angry, curse word laden rants of this kid who was newly diagnosed with horrible, painful condition and sent to live with her dad because it was supposed to be easier for her, but she was mad at her dad, and she was mad at the world, and was cutting weeks and weeks of school and dreading when she would eventually be caught and be forced to go back to the school. And I read that. I still have those pages from that notebook. I read this thing and I thought, that's it. That's how I can tell this story. That's my kid. That's the kid who's going to tell my story in that authentic way. And it took me a long, long time, like an embarrassingly long time, to write Curse, because it was very raw. And I just wrote whatever scenes came to me at the time. I actually wrote it out of sequence, which is bananas. I would not recommend that. But eventually I had a book that was really something I think hadn't been published before. And luckily my agent, Jen Linan, agreed and thought it was a really important book and that we had to get it out there. And it took a while. Not the easiest book to sell, but Monica Perez at Charlesbridge Teen saw value in my story and helped me to make it into the book that it is today. So I hope you like Cursed. Cursed is probably not like other books you've read. It really puts you into the mind and the shoes of someone dealing with chronic pain on a day-to-day, moment-to-moment basis. But it's also funny. It's funny and it is hopeful, but not with any miracle cures. That was something I definitely wanted to avoid. So Cursed is available everywhere, and I'm going to be making some more videos that detail different parts and different themes in the book. And I hope you enjoy the videos, and I hope you enjoy the book. Take care, everyone.